There is a belief that haunts the minds of countless men, a quiet, persistent whisper that tells them they are trapped. Trapped within a league of women they are not really into, simply because they were not born 6'5", or they are not rich, or they are not the most muscular, or they are just awkward, or any of the other reasons that men use to convince themselves that certain women are out of reach. This belief is not based on reality. It is based on fear. It is based on the lie that your value is fixed, that you are what you are and there is no changing it. But the Stoic philosophers understood something that most people never learn. Your value is not determined by external circumstances. It is determined by what you do with what you have been given. The philosopher Epictetus taught that we should not be upset by what we do not have, but rejoice in what we do have. And the truth is that you have more than you think. You have the ability to grow, to change, to become someone who is worthy of the kind of woman you want to attract. The league you think you are in is a prison of your own making, and you hold the key. Let us be honest about how this works. Women can date up a league much easier than a man can. Hypergamy is real. It is a documented pattern across cultures and throughout history. Women tend to date and marry men who are of equal or higher status, education, or earning potential. This is not a judgment, it is an observation. But here is what most men do not realize. While it may be easier for a woman to sleep with a man in a higher league, it is far less common for her to marry one. The casual relationship is one thing. The commitment is another. But for men, the dynamic is different. Men can date up many, many leagues. A man can use what he has built, his character, his presence, his accomplishments, his social proof, to secure a woman of a much higher threshold. The philosopher Zeno of Citium, the founder of Stoicism, taught that the goal of life is to live in agreement with nature. And it is human nature to be drawn to strength, to competence, to someone who has built something of themselves. That is what you are doing when you date out of your league. You are not tricking anyone. You are becoming someone worth choosing. The first step in dating out of your league is to understand the power of proximity and social proof. Women are social creatures. They are influenced by the opinions of other women in ways that men often do not fully appreciate. This is not a flaw. It is a survival mechanism. When a woman sees a man who is surrounded by other women who like him, who trust him, who are comfortable with him, she receives a signal. He is safe. He is desirable. He has been vetted. The philosopher Seneca wrote that friendship is always advantageous, while love is sometimes injurious. And in this context, the friendships you build with women can be the very thing that makes you attractive to other women. When you have social proof, you are no longer a stranger. You are no longer a risk. You are someone who has been approved by people she trusts. And that approval changes everything. So, how do you build social proof? You infiltrate social groups. Not in a weird way. Not by preying on women or stalking them. You do it by becoming a familiar presence in spaces where beautiful women congregate. If you are in college, join social clubs. Go to the library frequently. Frequent the same coffee shop. Not in a stalker way, but in a way that makes you a regular, a familiar face. Proximity changes perception. Familiarity breeds comfort, and comfort is the foundation of attraction. The philosopher Epictetus taught that we ought with caution to enter into familiar intercourse with men. And the same caution applies to women. You do not want to be creepy. You want to be friendly, consistent, and unthreatening. You want to be the man who is always there, always kind, always approachable. Over time, people will notice you. They will start to recognize you. They will start to trust you. And that trust is the currency that buys you access to women who would never have given you a second glance otherwise. Women are hesitant to like men they do not know. There are so many risks when a woman dates a man. Could he hurt her? Is he weird? Is he a stalker? Is he aggressive? These are not irrational fears. They are survival instincts. A man can pursue any woman without the same fear because he does not have the same vulnerability. He is not smaller, weaker, or more at risk. A woman does not know that about a strange man on the sidewalk. She does not know that he is safe. She does not know that he is not going. She does not know that he is not going to hurt her. But when she sees him in a social group, when she sees that other women like him, when she sees that he is a regular at the coffee shop, she receives a signal. He is safe. He has been vetted. He is desirable. That is the power of social proof. That is why women tend to like men who already have partners. Because someone else has already done the vetting. They have already confirmed that he is safe, that he is desirable, that he is worth pursuing. The philosopher Marcus Aurelius, the Roman emperor and Stoic, wrote that we should not waste our time on things that do not matter. And one of the things that does not matter is the fear of being seen as trying too hard. Build social proof. Be present. Be consistent. Let the world see who you are. You can create this effect by being a regular in social groups, gaining social proof through social clubs, being a regular at a library, being a regular at a coffee shop. But you do not just want to lurk in the corner. You want to really engage. Sit at the same table every time. Bring a book with you. Get a drink every time. Talk to the barista in a friendly, not weird way. Hey, how are you? I am back again for my matcha. Something like that. Just chat up some small conversation. Oh, do you go to school here? Nothing flirty. Nothing weird. Just chat up the people. Eventually, you will become a regular. That is social proof. Women who also frequent the coffee shop will start to notice you. Maybe the barista will notice you. You can do this anywhere. At the library, the woman organizing the books starts noticing you. Hey, you are always here. What are you reading today? Then all of a sudden, her friend comes to visit her. They see you. Maybe they like you, and they are like, who is that? Oh, he is always here. Do you see? You need to infiltrate social situations, and not in a weird way. It is going to take time, but this will allow you access to women that would never typically like you. The philosopher Epictetus taught that no great thing is created suddenly, and the kind of social proof you build through consistent presence is no exception. It is built through the accumulation of small moments, each one building on the last. Each time you show up, you build that social proof. Each time you are kind, you build that social proof. Each time you are consistent, you build that social proof. And as you build it, it becomes part of who you are. It becomes part of your presence. And that presence is what will draw others to you. But social proof alone is not enough. You also have to work on your personality. If you are still awkward and weird, no amount of social conditioning or other people liking you is going to make a woman like you. How do you fix that? Say less. Let the woman do the talking. Quiet confidence initially. Carry that on as long as you possibly can in the beginning phase. Be yourself, but tone it down. I know it sucks. You want to find someone who likes you for who you are. This is reality. People do not really like anybody really for who they are. A lot of us are having to live a performance day to day. That is just reality. You can play the game and win, or you can opt out and be miserable. So when you are going on dates with women, or you are in these social situations trying to gain access to women who would not typically like you, say less. Be a friendly face. Ask open-ended questions. Do not talk about yourself overly. You can say some things, but shut up a little. It helps, I promise. The philosopher Seneca wrote that silence is a lesson learned from the many sufferings of life. And when you learn to be silent, when you learn to let others speak, you become someone they want to talk to. Because people, especially women, want to be heard. They want to be seen. They want to be understood. And if you can give them that, you become irresistible. There is a rule in dating, in texting, in social situations. Whatever you plan to say, cut it in half. If a girl asks you, oh, what are you into? Instead of rambling and word vomiting, you say something simple. I like to watch football. There is a game on tomorrow at the bar down the road. What about you? Do you see the difference? Instead of overwhelming her with information, you give her a little and then turn the conversation back to her. Quiet confidence. Tone it down. Everything you are going to say, cut it in half. The philosopher Epictetus taught that we have 2 ears and 1 mouth for a reason. We should listen twice as much as we speak. And when you listen, when you let her talk, she will feel heard. She will feel valued. She will feel seen. And that is the foundation of attraction. Women also want to feel safe. They want to feel that you are not a threat, that you are not going to hurt them, that you are not going to be weird. This is why social proof is so important. It tells her that other women trust you. It tells her that you are not a danger. The philosopher Zeno of Citium taught that the goal of life is to live in agreement with nature, and it is human nature to seek safety. When you create safety, you create the conditions for attraction, and safety is created through consistency, through kindness, through being a familiar presence. When you are a regular at a coffee shop, when you are a familiar face at the library, when you are known and trusted, you become safe. And safety is the foundation of everything else. Now, let us talk about the deeper Stoic principle at work here. The Stoics believed that we should not be attached to outcomes. We should not be attached to whether a particular woman likes us. We should focus on what we can control, our actions, our character, our presence. And when we do that, we become free. We become the kind of man who does not need a woman to validate him. And that freedom is the most attractive quality a man can have. The philosopher Marcus Aurelius wrote that you have power over your mind, not outside events. And when you are not attached to whether she likes you, you become calm, you become present, you become someone she wants to be around. Because you are not trying to get anything from her. You are simply being, and that is magnetic. Let me tell you a story that illustrates this principle. There was a man who was not particularly tall, not particularly wealthy, not particularly good-looking, but he was a regular at a local coffee shop. He went there every morning. He was kind to the baristas. He was friendly to the other regulars. He always had a book with him, and he was always reading. Over time, people started to notice him. The baristas knew his name. The other regulars would wave to him. One day, a woman who had been coming to the coffee shop for months finally said something to him. She had seen him there every day. She had seen how kind he was to the staff. She had seen how he was always reading, always calm, always present. She introduced herself. They started talking. Within a few months, they were dating. This man did not cold approach her. He did not use a pickup line. He did not try to impress her. He simply showed up. He was consistent. He was kind. He was safe. And she noticed. The Stoic philosopher Seneca wrote that a man's character is his fate. And this man's character, his consistency, his kindness, his presence, was what created his opportunity. He did not chase. He attracted. What do you do when you have built the social proof and you have practiced the quiet confidence? You wait. Not in a passive way, but in a way that is open. You continue to be present. You continue to be kind. You continue to be consistent. And when the moment comes, when she shows interest, you are ready. You do not overthink it. You do not get desperate. You simply continue to be the man you have become, and that is what makes you different. The philosopher Epictetus taught that we should not seek to have events happen as we wish, but to wish them to happen as they do happen. And when you are not attached to a specific outcome, you become calm. You become grounded. You become someone who can handle whatever happens. And that calmness, that groundedness, is what makes you attractive. Let us also address the fear that many men have about dating out of their league. They worry that they will be rejected. They worry that they will be humiliated. They worry that they are not good enough. But the Stoics understood that rejection is not a reflection of your worth. It is simply a reflection of the other person's preferences. The philosopher Seneca wrote that it is not that we have a short time to live, but that we waste a lot of it. And when you waste your time worrying about rejection, you are wasting the opportunity to grow. You are wasting the opportunity to become someone who is worthy of the kind of woman you want to attract. The only way to know if you can date out of your league is to try. The only way to know if you can become the kind of man who attracts beautiful women is to build yourself into that man. And that takes time. It takes effort. It takes a willingness to fail. But it is worth it. The philosopher Epictetus also taught that we should not be ashamed to learn what we do not know. And when you are trying to date out of your league, you are learning. You are learning how to be present. You are learning how to be kind. You are learning how to build social proof. You are learning how to listen. And these are not just skills for dating. They are skills for life. They are skills that will make you a better man, a better friend, a better leader. The Stoics believed that the goal of life is to live in agreement with nature. And it is human nature to grow, to learn, to become more than we were. When you are trying to date out of your league, you are not just trying to get a woman. You are trying to become the kind of man who deserves a woman like that. And that is a noble goal. That is a Stoic goal. I want to leave you with one final thought. The league you think you are in is not real. It is a construct of your own mind. It is based on fear, on insecurity, on the belief that you are not enough. But you are enough. You are enough right now, and you can become more. You can become someone who is worthy of the kind of woman you want to attract. It is not about tricking anyone. It is not about playing games. It is about becoming the best version of yourself. And when you do that, you will attract women who are aligned with that version of you. That is the Stoic truth. That is the path to freedom. And that is the path to love. So, start showing up. Be present. Be kind. Be consistent. Let the world see who you are, and trust that the right people will notice.